Keeping It Real with Rudi Liquid, the topical interactive chat show where you may end up being one of the guests every Monday night, 8:30 p.m. tackling the week's major issues with special guests and you, the audience. Comedy with Rudi Liquid. This event is brought to you by Comedy Hotspot. Don't forget, Keeping It Real with Rudi Liquid. This is an 18 certificate only.
Oh, and thank you for joining me, Rudi Liquid, once again on a Monday night in Keeping It Real. I mean, we got to keep it real. I mean, what's going on, man? A man in Vienna has been fined nearly £500. £500, may I tell you? And I couldn't believe what he got fined for. He got fined for farting. No, I'm serious. No. Don't look at me like that. The guy got fined for farting. Yeah? Apparently, there was a couple of police officers who was walking past him. And they said, looking at him, he built up this massive fart and he just pushed it in their face. Now, that's worse than a dad and a 13-year-old boy, you know, getting arrested for riding their bikes while actually doing it for charity. Can you believe that? That's still going on. What's going on? What's going on? What was the whole point of us protesting, man? If you're going to pull us over when we're doing charities, I just don't get it. I just don't. That's why I need people to calm me down. I need people to calm me down. A guy calmed me down today, you know. Yeah, man. Shopping in Sainsbury's. There I was. Brother come up to me, tell me something look like Idris. Brother tell me something I look like Idris, you know. Do you know how big my head was? Hey, Colin, how you doing, man? Nice to see you here. Yeah, Cole, my head was swelling. This brother told me I look like Idris, his next door neighbor. Yeah, so I kind of like stopped talking to him, you know. Stop talking to Lyndon. Lyndon is in the house. How you doing, Lyndon? I see you got a new book there, Lyndon. You're pushing your book, bruv. You're pushing your book. Yeah, thanks for popping in. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I hope you've got questions for some of the guests. I've got two wonderful guests for you, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what can I tell you, yeah, about my first guest? She's a pioneer within her own right. She's radiant. She's beautiful. She's an actress. Okay, she's been the cornerstone of what I would call Black British comedy. Please welcome my first guest this evening, Miss Judith Jacobs. Boom!
Like that.
Here she
That's
is.
nice.
She's with us. Did you like that?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I look good.
I thought you might. I stayed up long and hard putting that together. I said, you know what? I want to get on the right side of this young lady. I've got to get on the right side of her because you was busting my balls yesterday, y'all. Bust my balls.
Oh, you had me up early. You know I don't do mornings. Anybody that knows me know I don't do mornings.
But this is what I
Including
learned.
my crew.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way. Like, hey, what time you call this for calling me?
Don't talk to me. I don't talk to me. Hi, Lyndon.
Yeah, I said I had to, man. I said I had to. So you've been on lockdown, girl? You've been on lockdown?
Yeah, well, we've all been forced to do that, but it's been fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself.
You've enjoyed yourself? Look, you
Yeah,
know what?
I have.
Because the thing is, right, is that as artists traveling up and down the country, right, since 1992, yeah, I don't think I've really I hardly spent a weekend at home.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? I had to meet my family during lockdown.
Been fun, huh? Interesting. You got to reintroduce yourself.
There was little things I couldn't do, like pick up the remote control to the TV. It was like,
you don't deserve it because you've not been there.
Yeah, it was like we don't watch this. We don't watch that. We're traveling. Right. So then that's why I decided my best place for me is out of the house, and in the gym? Because I know you're a big gym fan, aren't you? You're massive when it comes to the gym.
Training more than gym. Training. I love training. I train anywhere. So whilst we've been on lockdown, I'm so glad there's no S on my Jacob. Whilst we've been on lockdown, I've been on my roof training. I've been meeting my girlfriend. I've been doing Zoom training. But my fitness level is so gone. It's not as good as it used to be.
You've been doing the fitness online.
Yeah, I got some people that wanted to keep training whilst we were on lockdown, and so they got hold of me and said, "Oh, please, Judith." So I've been training some people online whilst we've been on lockdown.
You're a bit of a show off in the gym, though, aren't you?
Never a show off, darling. It's all about the work.
Hold on a minute. Are you telling me you're not a show off in the gym?
No, it's about the work. I've got other people who are much better than me.
Run the clip. That's what you call a show off. Showing off. That's what that is. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah?
That will do. Yeah. That will do. Come on. I see men in the gym, right? And every time, because women don't like working their upper body. They've got this trippiness about, I'm going to go too much muscles. Please, if it was that easy, you wouldn't have to work so hard. But so men always go like, oh, women aren't do that. So I just show off my little chins that I can do, and it always causes a little. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I can believe that's what I'm saying. So I know that. I'm sure
that I've saved a woman's life. I like saying this story because anytime I train people, if we're in a gym facilities, they have to try to do a pull up. And I made these women do this pull up. And this woman came to me and said to me, I saved her life. She was out of a boat. That's the kind of people I was rolling with. She fell out of her boat and she was able to pull herself back in. And she tells everybody this story that it's just because Rudi can't. You tell them, Denise, and can't do it.
Take her off the piers.
And so I love the idea of being able to. I love strength. I think strength is beautiful in women.
I think it is because you were quite a strong girl back in the day. I mean, you really stood up. I mean, there's a story about you and your tooth. What happened there? What happened? How did you lose your tooth?
Oh no! That was something else. That was when I was away on holiday in school in France. I didn't lose it. I bucked my tooth.
You buck it?
Because I wasn't eating meat. I'd stopped eating meat at 9, and we'd all gone away. And we were in France, and they gave them all what they called a tongue. And when they cut it, blood came out. Because they were all taking the mickey out of me before that. Because I was eating nuts. I lived on nuts because they refused to give me food when I was in France because I wasn't going to eat meat. So they just said, here, eat nuts. So I ate nuts. And whilst I'm eating my nuts, they were all going, and I was laughing so hard. I went, ha, 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 poof, and banged my tooth on the glass.
Oh no!
But it was worth it. It was worth it because them girls were taking the Jesus out of me until they see the blood come out of the meat.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I must admit though, one thing about West Indies is when we do cook our meat though, there's no blood running in it. So to see blood running,
it's cooked to death.
Yeah. Bacteria dies when we cook our food. Bacteria goes to mind. It's like, oh my God, here comes the line. Get out. Salmonella, run. You know what I mean? We cook our food, man. That's one. But you were the latchkey kid, weren't you? You was a latchkey kid.
I was. Yeah, not that I even knew what a latchkey child meant, but because I think I know all my friends were latchkey children because it just basically meant you had your key around your neck and you let yourself in from school. I didn't know that was a thing. All my friends were like that. Our poor parents, they had to make sure we didn't burn down the house, innit? So they made sure that we had the rod of fear put in us when we got in that house.
Nobody touch the paraffin lamp here. Don't switch it on.
Right.
Don't turn it on. We used to knock over the
paraffin
paraffin
lamp. Except you had to cook the food. Every time. You ran at the house thinking, fire, and everybody gathered outside. Estelle done a song on it. When she done a song about the burn down the house with paraffin heat and you all stood outside. Everybody must have had that same experience.
Yeah, I'm sure we did. But what got me about you, to be honest with you, Judith, was I never knew that you were so deep into music. You know, it was almost like I stumbled across it. I actually stumbled across it. I was flicking through Facebook and stuff like that, and realized that you was actually on Conscious Radio.
That's me on a Thursday afternoon, 1 till 3 p.m. Yay! Let's remember watching No Problem. Good times. They were very good times in these. That's my family, No Problem crew. But yeah, I think we all grow up. Music is how we chart our lives. And
yeah, but you love it. I mean, I've got a clip of you. Well, let's play the clip. Let's run the clip. Let's run the clip.
Hard to handle the one and only Mr. Granty Asher, featuring who I thought it was who's done this tune, Lloyd Brown. But actually it was Mr. Man here, my producer, in the studio. Say hello, my darling.
Everybody listening.
That's you,
Mr. Sexy Voice. Yeah, man. I listen. You get 2 hours of just playing music or having your guest in the studio. Who wouldn't love that? That is just heaven.
It must be because you give out. I've noticed you give out awards. You do the radio awards and stuff for the radio station and that. You know, and the thing is, that's not how we actually got to know you, though. That's not how we first got to know you through that program Angels. Yeah,
That's a series.
where you first started acting.
Well, not when I first started. It's what I left school to do. I was acting before that, so I had my first job at 14. But no, I left school to do Angels, and that was quite a big thing because I was doing my A-levels at the time, and my parents had my dad had expectations of me going to university to be the first uni person in the family, and then I got this job after several thousand auditions, not quite several thousand, but it was at least 2, and it was a job I wanted to do, and my mum said, well, if that's what you want to do it. But my dad took all the glory because my mum died the same night the day it was showed. My mum died that night, the night before it showed. But my dad walked around the t-shirt, it was way too small for him, saying, yeah, that's my daughter, Angel's t-shirt. As our parents do.
So
the same one that was going, no, you're going to university, you're not leaving school.
So did they watch your first performance? Did they actually see it? Because what was it? Was it the jumping beanbag, the jumping slag bag, or something like that?
That was the first one. Yeah, jumping beanbag. It was slag bag originally, but it was BBC, and in those days you can't be saying slag, you slag. So you can't have slag bag.
They were saying worse.
No, not then.
When
behind the camera, but not on the camera.
Do you remember Captain Pugwash and all them lot? Do you remember that program? Yeah, where they had semen and swallow me bollocks and all that kind of stuff. These were characters. That we Mary Mungo and me. These were characters that we were listening to. Do you know what I mean? And we didn't. But
you could get away with it because I didn't even know.
No.
Exactly. You didn't. I didn't know.
No. Captain Masturbation. What the hell is going on? I'm like, what's all this? At the time, we didn't know, and these words were just coming out of our mouth. Do you know what I mean? It's coming because it's like sometimes there's so much hidden stuff in stuff like Ring a Roses was really about slavery and stuff like that. But Tic Tac Toe, Catch a Negro by, all of those. This hidden stuff that we never really thought about. So you did jumping you did the jumping beanbag,
which is what it got changed to, yeah.
And then you ended up meeting your mateys, innit? Your best friends, so to speak, and no problems.
Well, because I hadn't done theatre, because I'd done telly. I started my acting career in telly. And then after I'd done Angels, Black Theatre Co-op had already been set up. And that's Victor Evans and Chris Tummins and all those guys and Malcolm. And I joined them. So I'd done my first play with them. The first time I ever done theatre work. And then, that started with them with theatre. And then LWT, Humphrey Barclay, approached Black Theatre Co-op because Black Theatre Co-op was tearing it up in the theatre scenes. I mean, they were selling out. People hadn't seen stuff like that. So people were coming out in their droves to support what the productions were. And that Humphrey, as a very sensible man, realised that this is a team of people we should get on the screen. So he came and approached Black Theatre Co-op for us to come up with an idea for a comedy. and we workshopped it for 8 weeks. Vass was originally in that group of people, but then he didn't end up being part of the production at the ending. But Chopé, who played Terry, she came in with all of the character names, and we improvised that, and that became No Problem. Who are my family today.
I've actually got a clip of the opening sequence for No Problems, because I know there's a lot of people who will reminisce.
I love it.
The moment that they see this. Can we play this, Jim? Can we play the No Problem?
Brothers and sisters in cool operation. And if friends don't know, then you better tell them. But if they already know, then it's no problem.
No problem, no problem. To Jamaica they have flown. No problem, no problem. But it's cool 'cause we're all grown. No problem, no problem. 'Cause while the cat's away,
No problem.
I smash all you baby.
No problem.
Boom!
Great show.
Because who
Absolutely
thought-
loved that show.
It was brilliant, man. It was brilliant because it was like, you know when you say black man on TV? For us, that was you lot. For us, that was you lot.
Yeah, honestly, it was
Because
great.
you guys, you
It was
literally,
it's my best job.
that's your best job. Yeah? Because you guys were literally the trailblazers.
My best job.
You were the trailblazers without.
Well, we weren't because wasn't Foster's was on before us.
Yes, but the Fosters did not
was
go
on,
up and down the theatres, though, did it? I mean, you know,
no problem.
You got all of you lot there ended up going off and doing bigger things. You know what I mean? We kind of like grew up with you.
Yeah, I think the difference with No Problem is young people put it together. It was very much from a young people's perspective. We were all very young, and the whole thing of those pirate radio stations was all the rage at the time. And so Chopé, or Fumi, she's now called, captured that with Tamin's character of Toshiba, and Victor's character's Bellamy was so off the hook, living in the garden with Satan as his snake. It was ridiculously stupid. But Victor's is one of the most amazing actors in Britain. To me, he is one of our biggest actors. He's a freaking amazing actor. And only Victor could have carried off that character.
It's a shame because we lost Malcolm. We lost Malcolm, isn't it? Malcolm is now up in the heavens. But I have a quick picture of Malcolm.
Another talented man.
Just show him up for a second, because like Malcolm, he did like Get Up, Stand Up, you know, Angie and those kind of people.
And he had his own series called Morgue as well.
That's right.
And he was the title on it.
So from there, what happened after that? You guys, after that, you sort of like went into EastEnders. Was it EastEnders, or did you do The Real McCoy shortly after that?
No. It was EastEnders that I'd done before The Real McCoy. Was it the other way around? God, time moves so quickly. No, I think I've done EastEnders first, and then but no, definitely No Problem is my favorite job, because it was we devised it. So when you devise something, it's your baby. So it was ours. So that's no, bar none, is my favorite job, and they are still my brethren that I will talk to on a regular basis. They're my brothers and my sisters. So I love that job. Then EastEnders, they asked me to do EastEnders because they were the same people, respective Mark Gray. Do you know Mark Collin? Of course I know. Yeah, it was good. Well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But so when we done EastEnders, they were the same people that done Angels, the producers, Tony Holland and Julia Smith. They done it, and they asked me, would I want to do it? And my daughter I'd just given birth to Aisha, and so she wasn't very old. When they asked me, she must have been about 2 months or something. They asked me if I'd come in it. I said, yeah, sure. And so I jumped in on that, and then she came in as my niece when she was 2.
Raw. So you didn't have to audition then?
No audition needed, because they knew me. And the actress Shirley Sheraton, she was also in Angels. They just asked her to come in. I mean, if you know the right people, they will very nicely go, are you interested? And if you say yay, then you're in.
So it's
I was lucky like that.
Innit? Lucky for some, innit?
It was very lucky for some. But that audition for Angels was tough, and I think they remembered how hard I had to work to get that job. And then I'd done Angels for 3 years, so they knew me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
They knew me. It's not like they didn't know me. They knew me. So
Oh, so that's a really nice career, and then to end up being able to act and stuff, and then how did the BB Crew come about then?
BB Crew came back because Beverly Michaels had seen the posse, and Beverly comes from, oh, there we are, my beautiful sisters, and had seen the posse, and she knows me because we both went to Anashare together. So she asked me, and then she just asked some other women if they were interested. And Beverly is the one right on the end, from where I'm sitting on the left. She's right next to Josephine. She's the one that got all of us together, basically.
Okay.
And we sat down, met each other, saw you play Belgrade. Oh, Suzanne Packer. Oh, Denise, you're in the know, ain't ya? Well done, well done. Yeah, so that, I mean,
Suzette she actually did some work on me actually as an actor to try to act. When I was doing when I started out doing comedy, she was running little seminars and stuff like that down in Harlesden, and I used to attend. And she took me through the paces, man. She actually took me through the
she's quite cool.
So what?
I'm very lucky.
So what's coming up with the BB Crew? What's happening with the BB Crew?
Well, in this time, people have all been very creative, and that's including us as the crew. So we've been writing, and we've had a play. Oh, gosh, we've got a play that we've been writing since 2012, right? It's gone through so many. Yeah. So that was when we had the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we started it in 2012. We started it, and this play has gone through so many different transitions and stuff. But it is finally finished. We got Trish Cook in, and now we've got a completed product. That's a theatre production. And we've been writing for a television series in this case. Love you, you're awesome. Thanks, Denise. I like you. You can be my friend.
She's just sucking up.
Yeah, she can suck up. I like that. I like the sucking up. It's nice. And, so we've just written an idea for a sitcom. Which we all know that television is a totally different ball game to theatre. Theatre, you can, even if you decide a theatre, you can get it done, but television is different. So we're going to now tout it out there, sell it, and see who jumps and buys. But it's a good time right now because they're all talking about us with love.
Judith, stop it. You know there's an audience out there for you. You know. We
know it, but it's not about us. It's not about us. It's about the commissioners and them lot to take it on board. We know it. And in this time of being locked down, so much people have been creative. All the creatives have done exactly that, been creatives. And now that we've had all this Black Lives Matter, all of a sudden we're visible. So it's good. Now there's going to be inundated with ideas, and they better take one of ours. Miss Rudi, you know how I love you. Don't have to be nice to him, Denise. Him not need it. You just stay with the love to me.
Because one of your biggest pleasures is actually Gambia, isn't it? Gambia is one of your biggest pleasures.
Gambia is home.
That is your secret. I wouldn't even say secret pleasure, but that's like your chocolate, isn't it? It's like for you, Gambia.
It is. You know what's beautiful is my daughter came out with us because I was taken out there as a guy called Mark, and he puts on Soul in Africa. So I went out there as a DJ, and so that's my first time in Africa was going to work, if you can call it work, and it became like home. My man and my daughter came out the second year, and she came with her boyfriend, and they've just fallen in love. They want to buy somewhere out in Gambia now. I love it. I love my daughter has found herself. Whoa, yeah. So her and her partner wants to go and buy somewhere in Gambia to live.
Because I thought the whole point of going out to Gambia was to chill out, but you don't rest for a minute, do you? Could you please bring the clip on, please, Jim? Put the clip on.
9, 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're supposed to relax. Look at you, working hard. Relax, man.
Ladies, don't let nothing drop out. Girls, don't let nothing drop out.
You weren't talking to me. I ain't got no boobies. I only wear a bra to make me look like I got breast.
I'm like...
Nothing was dropping out from me.
Nothing's dropping out here. There's nothing to drop out here. Now I've reached
Nothing's
that point,
dropping out here now.
I've actually reached that point in because I only have an hour show. It's not very long, and you deserve something like 2 hours to really interview you. You've got so much going on, And I have a clip before I bring on my next act, where my next artist. I say act, like I was doing stand up, right? And it's what I call my clip of the week. Yeah, it's either my clip of the week, it's either a meme, or it's a video clip. But this time I chose a meme, and I found this meme on your page. Could you put it up, please?
That sounds like me.
That's quite a
that
deep
sounds
meme.
like me.
That's a deep meme. That's a deep meme. And so with that, I'd like you to stay. I'd like to introduce my next guest, Miss Sutra May, better known as Lorna G. Lana, where's she there? Where Lana there? Bring her in. Bring this pole in.
Yay!
Bring this pole in.
Samir.
How are we doing, Lorna?
Rudi, what did you call me? You got it right just before we came on, but what did you call me, brother?
I called you Sutra May.
Sutra May, you know. Wow. Okay. I like that. It's not entirely right.
Sutara is even good.
Sutara May. Sutara May.
Sutara Ma.
The thing is that we know you as Lorna G.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's going to be a bit of a problem.
Sutara. Where did that come from? Where did Sutara come from?
Sutara came from when I went to India in 2012, and I got it from my guru. He named me Sutara, and it means divine star. It means the holy star, man. So you know what? There's some people that just know me only as that, you know, since meeting them along the way. But I'm starting to use that name more and more now, and actually I've actually changed it by default. So
you've changed it by default. So this is officially your name now.
Officially, my name is Sutara. I'm ready to embrace and walk in that name, Sutara Ma.
And that's what I love about you. That's why, because I remember we was in St Matthew's Church Hall in Brixton.
Yeah.
And I think Eddie and Robbie then was doing One Me I Go Win or something like that. Can't remember what the show was exactly, yeah. And you said to me,
One Me I Go Win.
Yeah, and you said to me, you know what, Rudi, I'm gonna start doing some acting, you know. And in my head I went, shut up. She now doing the acting. Shut up, man. Shut up. And then, to my surprise, put up this clip, please, Jim. Jim?
I say, who's in charge of this chaos?
I'm happy to say that I am.
Oh, where's the groom?
He's over there.
Ah, good job he turned up. The bloody bride had better do so.
Here, have a swig of this. It's very strong. I always keep a flask just for appearance. I believe your seat's at the front.
You don't play.
I couldn't hear it though. I can't hear it on my side. I don't know if it matters, but I couldn't hear what it was.
Did you hear it, Judith?
Yeah.
Oh, I
heard it.
Anything that's been playing, but you was playing from Judith also when I was in the back, I wasn't able to hear anything.
Oh, that's very important, man.
Yeah,
because
I wasn't able to hear anything. I don't know what it is.
Oh no. Yeah. But you can hear us. You can hear us now.
I can hear you, and I guess that's all that matters.
But I mean, I'm just amazed to think that you are at such a level. You know, it's not like it's not like you're going into a little church thing. You know what I mean? Where you do amateur dramatics. You said, "I'm going to go and do some acting," but the thing is, it was in later years, which is even more. Oh my God! Which is even more surprising that you did it in your 30s, if I'm right.
That's right. Yeah. I went to drama school. Well, I actually went to college first and did my BTEC in performing arts. I was about 35. And then I went into drama school at 37 and graduated at 40. I mean, when I went to college, I had no idea that I could go to drama school at my age. I had no idea of the drama school system or anything like that. I was just advised. You know, it went really well when I did my BTEC, and the teachers just were really supportive and just started pushing me and said, "Listen, you need to go to drama school." I'm like, "What?" And that's how that came about.
Because the thing is that yeah, sorry, darling, I didn't mean to cut you. It's just that you're like a anything is possible kind of person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, if I'm right, but was you homeless at some point in your life? Is that correct?
I was homeless.
I'm asking.
I wouldn't really say I was homeless. As a kid, I was as a growing up, I was kind of like, you know, a troubled teenager. So I kind of grew up in the care system. I went to a lot of different children's homes. So so I was quite a little rebel.
You were a proper rebel, because I used to go, boy, and about to mess with Lani, because she would cut you up. No, she would cut
Trust
you up.
me.
You're one of those people that you could not play with.
I was an angry kid. I ain't gonna lie. I was an angry kid, man. And also I didn't like authority. You know, I was always fighting against authoritarians and stuff like that. So yeah. That was a bit my life. Yeah.
Yeah, because you would always match yourself up with all the boys and everything, because I mean you was part of Saxon, if I'm right. Saxon sound.
Well, I wasn't part of Saxon. I did chat on their sound.
You chat on their system, innit?
Yeah, I went on many sounds, but my sound system actually was Nasty Rockers. That was the one. That was the sound that I was really a part of. But yeah, I chatted on Saxon, Coxon, Smarlux, all of them sounds. Yeah, I was a bit of a tomboy in them days too, you know.
No, you was a proper tomboy. Proper tomboy. That's what I know. Because when Club Mix first came on TV, that was hosted by Smiley Culture, you ripped the room apart. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember that? In fact, listen, run this clip for me. Run this clip. This is you, right? This is you, as a you, ripping the room. I mean, proper rip. Play the track, please, Jim. Jim? I hope Jim ain't falling asleep, you know.
You must sleep.
Jim, don't tell me I sleep back there, you know. Because I really would like to see this track, because when Club Mix first came on, it was like the first entertainment program that we kind of like had. Yeah.
If you play the ragamuffin, you go get job. Didn't I tell you that? Hey, who did not tell you if you play the ragamuffin, you go get job? Then it's a natural vibe too. Who did not tell you if you play the ragamuffin, you go get job? Didn't I tell you that? Hey, who did not tell you if you play the ragamuffin, you go get job? Then it's a natural vibe too. Don't you remember what Fred said? You not on me exit, you are fighting against Tredo. Talk you want talk for the self-defense. Now another man dead, you looking life sentence. But who did not tell you if you play the ragamuffin, you go get job? Didn't I tell you that? Hey, who did not tell you if you play the ragamuffin, you go get job? Then it's a natural vibe too. Don't you know when you kill your brother, Babylon love? Don't you know when you rob your mother, she get the love?
She's killing it, man. She's killing it.
You will die by the sword. No, you never want to listen one little word. You come in at the house like the damn body moon. Now God man and soldier man looking for you. Cause who did not tell you if you play the ragamuffin, you go get job?
One. Yeah, Jim, that's cool.
Put
it. That is what you call ripping up the room, man. Because that was like, it's like both you and Judy, right? It's like both of you like are like the first in a lot of things. You know, the first sitcom on Channel 4, you know, was No Problems. You know, then we had like Club Mix, and there's you doing that on that side. And there's so many different facets to you, girl. There is so many different facets. You're deep, man. Even your drama even threw me. Because what is it? I was watching a clip. There's another clip. I hope you don't mind me showing your clips, because I think.
Oh my gosh! Of course not.
Yeah, because there's a clip where you're with, is it Javon?
Oh, Javan, wait. Yeah.
Yeah. If we could play that clip, don't, what's it? Do you know the clip where it's got, did I tell you? No, or don't go, don't.
Hello.
Sharon, don't come back. Don't come back. They're gonna kill you.
Yeah, that's the clip.
Mama, where are you?
Leave me alone.
Slap her in the head. Hey, shut this picture.
Don't come back.
Bad gal. Bad gal. Bad gal.
You know what?
So
it's really one of the guys that cadet, dear cadet, died quite soon after that was shot, you know. One of the guys that had me, and he was such a gentle giant. He was like, you know, auntie, I don't want to hurt you, you know, I don't want to. I was like, just do it, man. Just like, you know, lift me up. Like, you have to make this look real, bro.
Look real.
You know what I mean? And he, you know what I mean? And he's like, I don't really want to hurt you. I was like, and yeah, and you know, just a little while after that, he died in a car accident. So it was so sad. But it was so much fun.
Keep showing these clips of Lorna G's hard work so far. It's extraordinary. See, we don't know this about you. We don't know this. Yeah. It's like when you did the fried chicken up in Scotland. Was it Scotland that was filmed?
Yeah, Glasgow.
Yeah. That was, and I saw the comedy actress in you, and I was like, this girl, she makes me feel inept. She actually makes me feel inept, and I think it's worth having a look at. If we can look at the fried clip. That was
happening. Joe called in. There's
an
emergency. And where is everyone?
That's the emergency. It's nearly drunk o'clock and they've all called in sick.
I don't work here anymore.
Oh, and I've got to go too. I have a sensitive personal problem I have to deal with.
What?
It's a bunion.
Okay.
In my arsehole.
Oh.
I thought it was a hemorrhoid.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Right.
It was a bunion.
Got that?
In my arsehole.
She's crazy. She's so crazy.
I think it's
that
you.
was so much fun.
It must have been. It must have been. We were in Glasgow for 6 weeks filming that. 6 episodes we filmed. And yeah, it was just so much fun. It was so hard to film a lot of those shots. We just kept corpsing all the time, just laughing and laughing, and it was just crazy. Because that must have been quite similar when you guys was doing the Real McCoy, Judy. But what was that? Because I came into a few of your sessions when you guys were working through some of the sketches, as I recall.
Well, actually, what was good about when we done the Real McCoy, it was because we had the readings and we had to read the sketches to see if it was funny, it was in. If it wasn't, it weren't. And that's how some of those stuff actually got in. Some of the stuff that you would have thought was politically woo. But if they were funny, they were in. So we did have some great times. But it wasn't so much the filming. Me, Robbie, Leo, and Eddie had this thing that they thought that they were the man them. And so I was always fighting them. But then they would jump me and take the tape that we used to mark out the set where we're meant to be and wrap me literally like a turkey. Wrap up my hands, wrap up my legs. Then they walked out and tried to leave me in the room like that until they come back. 3 men and 1 woman. You see how strong I am.
Oh, that's why you can man up. You can man up with the boys. But both of you two are like that, though.
I had to start training to get those guys.
Well, I saw you doing some push-ups. I thought, oh my god, do you do push-ups at all, Sutra? Do you do any? Satara? Do you do any form of exercise?
No, I don't do push-ups, I'm afraid. But I've got a beautiful fitness coach called Mike, and I'll tell you, when we're on it. You know, he's helps me with the boxing and trying to get me fit and stuff like that. But then I'm one of those people that I start it and then I come off. I just come off. You know, I'm not constant.
Yeah,
on
okay.
it. I'm not consistent on it, which I wish I was, but I'm just not. But yeah, when
it's not your thing. You know, have you tried yoga though? I can see you doing yoga.
I do yoga a lot, and especially in this lockdown.
Yeah, I can see you doing that.
Yeah, in this lockdown, I've been able to. When I've got a beautiful friend who lives in Venice. I was just with her just last year in Venice. Well, she's a yoga teacher, and so she and I were doing yoga every day online on Zoom. You know, throughout the lockdown, and that's been really, really beautiful. And then after, just kind of just having our own just a meditation together. Yeah, that's been really, really lovely. So yoga. is something that, you know, and I walk. I try to walk every day. That's one thing, just try to walk every day.
I walk every day to the car. I walk to the car, I get in.
No.
I'm not like you, Rudi.
That must be very stressful for you.
Oh, it is, man. It is. It's this arm. This is, you know, when you got to change the gear. That's the one that really, sometimes I have.
Oh, is that what you do? Use that hand for?
Yeah. No.
I thought it was for something else, but okay.
I'm happily married now. Happy married.
That don't mean nothing. Stop lie. That don't mean jack diddly bogey.
I'll tell you who could be quite naughty though when she's ready, and that is Madam Up Dessa. When she ready, man, I came across a clip with you and Sandra Cross. Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, so she does play around. There is so many facets to you. It's unbelievable. In fact, Jim, run that clip
Move your talk, move you said that you love good talk, move you do that, move you get fat now, move you said that's a good journey. Go now, can you keep a secret? Yes sir. Can you keep it till the morning? True. No matter tell it to the policeman, no matter tell it to the soldier man, 'cause there's a hole in your bucket. Say dear Sandra, say dear Sandra.
There's a hole in your bucket,
hole in your bucket. Say dear Sandra.
Naughty.
Well, cock it, Lana, cock it. Oh, you mean? Cock it, Lana, cock it. Oh, you got it. What shall I cock it, Sandra?
Oh, God.
Shall I cock it, Sandra?
You are bad. You're bad.
Lana with his stick. Oh, dear. With his stick, Lana. Very naughty. But the stick is too big, dear Sandra. Me say the stick is too big, dear Sandra. Well, ram it, Lana, ram it. Oh, you mean? Well, ram it.
Oh, you mean?
Oh, no.
I forgot.
I
forgot
That
all
is
about
so
that.
funny. That is so funny. But you can tell that's two sisterings that love each other, that know each other really well. They can play with each other like that.
That's
it is
my
beautiful.
That's my girl, Sandra.
Yeah,
That's my
man.
girl, Sandra. We spent so much time back in the days at the Mad Professor Studios in the 80s. We spent so much time in the studio together, and also when we were touring all over Europe. So we spent so much time together, me and Sandra. You know, I love that queen, man. Love her.
Yeah, me too. She's a beautiful queen indeed.
So what happened to Lovers Rock then? What really happened to our genre of music in terms of the marketing and the rewards? What do you think really happened?
It's a very big question, Rudi. It's a very, very big question, and I don't know. It's got so many different facets. It's to do with the radio stations. It's to do with producers. It's to do with artists. It's got so many different facets to it. You know what I mean? And I feel, and also the most detrimental thing has been the business side. We have not been very great with the business side of things, and I think that's probably where it's really fallen down in a way. You know.
Would you think that's
also that has to get airplay?
Yeah,
it has to get airplay. I mean, you can't exist in a vacuum.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask you, Judy. It sounds very similar to what happened to comedy, because after The Real McCoy, the assumption would have been that everybody would have got some spin-off of some sort, and the only people
well, somebody did. You got goodness gracious me.
Yeah.
Well, can I say something though? With everything that we have, when things are taken away, like the pirate. When the pirate running, we were on top of the world as artists. There were so many different radio stations, and there's so many shows, and there were so many all-dayers, and we were constantly working. You know what I mean? But as that went away, as that filtered out, then so did the music. almost. It's the same thing when you take away youth centers from kids. All of those, when there was a time where we all had all those youth centers and we'd go there, we'd play pool, and those were taken away little by little until they were just no more at all. And then you just got all of the, you know, kids going on a rampage, basically. So anything that you take away, you know.
Because I realized that
that's the result of it.
Yeah, when they started selling hooch used to be sold, and used to see kids on the street corners, because like you said, we had youth centers when we came home. Because I remember earlier on I spoke about being a latchkey child, but even though you was a latchkey child, you still had somewhere to go, so to speak, whereas the kids don't have somewhere to go. And it's interesting that we end up talking about this, because it's showing that caring nature, that caring side of you. And that's why when Grenfell came up and it was its anniversary, I was surprised to see this. Could we play this? Jim, could you play the Grenfell thing for me, please?
We're living in a different kind of world where others treat you differently for being different from others. What's the difference? My blood flows red like yours. My currency and yours are the same, divided only by opulence. I want to know if you got a soul, though. Because isn't a soul the essential element of a human being? That noble warmth of feeling and spirit. So then, how could you nullify that which God has beautifully made? How could you deprive the lives of those who were in the prime of their fruitfulness? Black, white, brown, she's from out of town, born over there, you weren't born there. I was born, damn it. I am entitled to inhabit this space as God intended. Who are you? What are you? From whence did you come? And how long are you planning to stay? Because right here, right now, I believe we can all feast on the table. We have reached the end of our tether. Only God knows what the powers that be has in store next. But in the meantime, what are we going to do? Are we going to pander to their conniving ways? Are we going to allow ourselves to be blinded by hate, fury, scorn? Or are we going to just say yes? Yes to our unfolding future. Well, I say yes.
Always pushing forward. You're always pushing forward. You know, and that's why when I first saw that, I said to myself, "Oh my God, you just." But there's a story behind that poem, isn't there? There's actually a story behind that poem, if I'm right.
The story, is there a story behind it? When the Grenfell happened, I was able to meet some of the survivors, and one of the survivors put on an event, a fundraising event, and yeah, it was a very, very powerful event. And she asked me to write something as well as sing my song.
Right.
She asked me to write something, and that's what came up. I mean, yeah, that's what came up.
Because I find that there's a lot of frustration out of the sheer fact that because like I never lasted when I was at school. I never lasted a single term when I was at school. Yeah, I found it very frustrating to learn. I found that the information that was being given to me, I couldn't kind of like take it in. I couldn't absorb. Unlike some people who were getting A's and B's when they were at school. Yes,
Sorry, that was the rule in my house. If you didn't, B was like having a C to my dad, and a C was a beating. So it was a B plus was just about acceptable, and it was A's and B's. So that's what I got because I knew that's what I had to get. So I got it.
Yeah. Whereas with me, I mean, I used to have to burn the midnight oil on both ends to study. But I managed to get through at the end of the day, to be honest with you. But I think that a lot of yeah, I do. But it's not bad. I just say I'm just lazy and I can't spell properly. That's what it is. I think it's just
That's not nice for other people with dyslexic. That's not nice.
No,
You
I
have to work twice as hard, don't they?
I was talking about myself personally. It was me personally.
Yes, but you have it, innit? You have it, and you say you're being lazy. It translates to other people, doesn't it not?
I'm not watching by nobody else. I'm not watching by nobody else. But what I find is that another creative side pops out, though, doesn't it? Another side of you tends to shine. It's like if you lose an eye, your hearing becomes that much better, or your taste, or you touch. Another side of you like picks up. But I know that you're both mothers. Are you both mothers? That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And because I've got 3 girls actually. I've got 3 girls. The Lord. What do you mean? Tell him, Judith. Judith is just faced it. That's
She's
all.
right. So what? Denise knows the thing. Thank you, darling.
Denise is no friend of mine. That's all I know. She's a friend of both of you, but she's no friend of mine. I don't know why.
She was, and you said about the dyslexia thing.
I didn't mean to knock the dyslexic people. Do you know what I mean? And in that
I know you're knocking yourself.
Why did somebody come up with a word like dyslexic? How are the dyslexics going to find it in the dictionary? How are they going to find it? You can't.
They can't. They have to rely on their parents and hope that they can read.
That's true. That's true. Let me just. Can I just ask you? What do you think of the protests that have been going on? What are your thoughts? Do you mind me asking me what your thoughts are?
Is that me or Judith?
That's for you. That's for you, Sutra.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just feel like the youngsters now they're just different. They are not putting up with the that we put up with. Do you know what I mean? And like me personally, I'm tired of the marching. I was marching 76. I marched 81, 85, 80, you know what I mean? I've been there, but I'm very, very happy to pass over the baton now and allow them to do what they're doing. And I think a lot of the youths are being very, very courageous. My son was out there protesting also. So it's probably I think it's his first march. I mean, you know, but it's like there's something different this time. There's something different in the air from other times. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that could be because.
Go on, Judith.
Yeah, I think what the main difference is, and I have to say, I have to address something that's been said in a lot of, because I've been to a few of them recently and before, as Sutara was saying, but they have a placard that they've been saying. They're saying we are not our ancestors. I find that very insulting, because our ancestors has fought. And they did not face what our ancestors faced. Our ancestors were whipped. They had salt put in their thing. They had proper life death situations. So it's an insult. They are standing on their ancestors' shoulders. So they must remember that this fight has not just started. It has been going for a long time. But the difference now is that because it was one sec.
Yeah.
I was saying the difference with this is that because we had Walter Rodney, because last night they had not Walter, that's Rodney King, who was beaten up. That was the first time you visually saw everybody that lives in that situation knew it. If you're especially for African American, that was your life. It was the first time the public got to see it.
Yeah.
And then you thought it would get better, and now we're seeing they're not bothering to beat you anymore. They're shooting you, and so we've seen with the most recent one is the neck. The neck. Now this is the most recent, and because it was televised, it was the revolution that would be televised. This was televised, and so you cannot, if you're a human being, not be moved by that. And so what we've got now, we've never had any corporations saying anything, anytime stuff. This is the first time that we are getting corporations, even though your words are cheap, they have to then show it with their actions. But they are saying, we're going to try to make differences here. We're going to make sure that the board is not just all white. Let's see if that changes. But there is a different feeling. There is a different energy, because other people are now, because it can't be just about us on our own to make those changes. Those changes have to come from above.
Sorry, Judith. The thing is, haven't you noticed that what the white kids that we grew up with, are sending their children with our children out there? I think that's been
that's what I'm saying.
And the only people I haven't seen is the Chinese and the Asians. But you were going to say something, though.
They've been there. I saw them.
Tara, you actually were going to say something.
Something about what Judy said, and I understand when you know, the placard, I kind of understand what they mean by saying that. It's like, you know, because I remember I remember when my sister got shot. My sister got shot by the police, and I remember at that time, that was 1985, yeah, and this was like some mistaken identity. And I remember that when we went outside the house, when we first heard about it, we went outside the house, and there was a big crowd gathered, and my mum was like, we found out that she's been shot. She's been taken to the hospital. My mum's with they're going to the hospital, and they was like, "Come, go to the hospital." I'm like, "I'm not going to the hospital. I'm going to the police station." And that's where I went, and I almost led the march down there. Do you understand? I marched down there. I had the capability, and I was so angry that I had the capability of really doing something irrational on that day. So I remember that whole process. Yeah, when my mum she prayed a lot, because my mum was a staunch Seventh-day Adventist. That's how we grew up. We grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist church, you know, and my mum was prayed a lot and everything. I didn't feel like praying. I was like, you know what, you guys have been here in this country, the people have treated you, you know what I mean, like, you know, like dogs, basically, you know, and so I in myself, it had that fire in me that I'm not going to take what my parents' generation had gone through. So I can just imagine the young people of these days, you understand, and what they're seeing. And when you really this is not something that's just happening, you know, this is ingrained in every single walk of our life.
There's historical, there's definitely
from birth.
There's definitely historical content behind this, and I was listening to that wonderful. There was a wonderful poet who sums it up perfectly in my mind, and that's Mr. Muta Baruka. Baruka, yeah. Can we play that? Can we play this? I think it's.
Give me this. Give me that. Give me back me everything you got. Give me philosophy you carry to Greece. Thief, Homer, and Socrates. Give me historical masterpiece. Give me back my name. Give me back my calendar. Give me books of tea from Alexandria. Give me queen like Cleopatra. Me no want to hear about Queen Victoria. Give me language I know so well. You mix up English, confusing no hell. Give me back my maths, you Pythagoras. Give me symbols, you tea from us. Give me this. Give me that. Give me back me everything you got. Give me diamond, give me gold. Give me back me rock and roll. Give me uranium, give me coal. Give me reggae, give me blues. Give me music that you confuse. No spiritual concept originated there. So who I praise, you shouldn't care. You say steal not, you thief me land, sex not, you rape my mother, keep the Sabbath. We work 7 days a week. You build a nation from the sweat of my back. Now you want to come give me crack. Give me my herbs, make me make some tea. Give me back all my fruit tree. Give me the remedy that make blind see. Give me everything that you take from me. Give me this, give me that. Give me back me everything you got. Give me a space I can run my own life. Respect is due. The time is now. No more turn cheek. This time we now bow.
Yeah, you feel that? You feel that?
Beautiful. Love Musa.
Somebody just said he feels what they mean, what the youth putting up with it anymore, and I think that's exactly what they mean when they say that we're not our ancestors. That's what they mean. We're not going to put up with it, like, you know, probably.
But we weren't putting up with it either.
No, we weren't, and that was
that's the same thing. I disagree.
I agree with you.
We weren't putting up with it either.
But listen, we wasn't putting up with it. But listen, how long are we going to go around with our begging bowl and asking for people to respect us and to see us? How long are we going to be doing that?
I don't want no begging bowl.
I don't think we should. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. We shouldn't.
Look at it from the young people's point of view. Look at it from the young people's point of view. We have to look at it.
Yes, I am. But don't
Ready.
knock don't knock what people have done.
Hello,
People
Ready.
have done, been fighting.
No.
People have been fighting for so long, and nobody's accepting it.
course.
And I don't want to march anymore. So I agree. What do you want, Rudi? What do you want?
What I want to say is brilliant. It's brilliant that we could do, just the two of you, you're powerhouses, and you bring so much. You bring so much energy. You bring so much love, and you bring so much positivity. Yeah, to the point where yes, we are in a pandemic. Yes, we are on lockdown. But you know what? This is the best way I could think of ending my show, right? And that's by playing it out with Lorna G, and she tells us we've got to find a way. With her son, by the way, Nathan. Let's stop it. There's always a way. There's always a way. So I'd just like to thank my guests. This Lorna G, that's officially as Super Meg, Tara May, remember that, ladies and gentlemen, and also the wonderful and the very talented
great, man. I
Miss
really
Judith
had a
Jacobs.
fantastic
Thank
time.
you for
Reggae
watching.
is my heart, it's my soul, it's the essence of who I am. So it will never go away. Love is everywhere. Love is, we are love, innit? We are love.